News 25 is brought to you by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, investigators asked the public for weather photos following a tragic crash, and a man is arrested after smashing into a parked car. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
9 people die in a tragic helicopter crash. It's Monday, January 27th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Well, it's hard not to be affected by a tragic loss of life Sunday morning when a report of a helicopter crashing in Calabasas, California, was carrying not only former basketball star Kobe Bryant, but his daughter, her friends, their parents, a fellow coach, and the pilot. All 9 individuals perished on site. Investigators are focusing on a possible weather-related issue at this point as contributing to the collision outside a hillside neighborhood. They are even asking the public for any photos that they may have of the dense fog at the time of the incident. The Los Angeles Police Department said that they grounded their own planes at the time, refusing to fly because of low visibility. Investigators from the Coroner's Special Operations Response Team were able to recover 3 bodies Sunday night before darkness and safety concerns suspended the search. It's unclear which victims have been recovered. The sudden death of 41-year-old NBA legend and the deaths of 8 other victims has left people mourning around the world. The helicopter was operating under special visual flight rules, according to an air traffic control conversation with the pilot captured by the website liveatc.net. The clearance allows a pilot to fly in weather conditions worse than allowed for regular visual flight rules. The investigation, they say, will take up to a year to complete. Well, the Nevada Department of Transportation reports that they have completed the blasting phase of Highway 160 in Mountain Springs. Today, they closed the roadway for a scheduled 2 hours for their final blast. The blasting is part of the work that is $59 million of an upgrade of State Highway 160 that began last summer, widening a 6-mile stretch of asphalt on the highway from 2 to 4 travel lanes between mile markers 16 and 22. The construction is scheduled to be completed by fall of this year. Well, a local woman was shocked this morning to hear that her car was in an accident. This morning, police called truck driver Cindy Kemp to report that her red SUV, which was parked in the Saddle West parking lot, had been hit. Cindy reports that she had parked her vehicle near where the big rigs parked to the back of the casino. When she arrived, she learned that her car had been pushed quite a distance from that area to the back of the facility. An eyewitness told Kemp that the suspect was driving a white Dodge Ram pickup truck pulling a gray trailer. They said that the individual struck her car several times, in fact striking it once, going around in a circle, and then striking the vehicle one more time. Later on this morning, a sergeant with the Nye County Sheriff's Office witnessed that vehicle traveling northbound on Highway 160 and conducted a traffic stop in the parking lot of Walmart. After speaking to the driver and only occupant for a short time, he was arrested on scene and his trailer and truck towed. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies are investigating the cause of this accident. Kemp told News 25 that her vehicle sustained major damage as a result of this collision. Well, our own Vern Van Winkle's mother is recovering following her crash yesterday in the desert off Game Bird Road. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies are investigating the cause of a single vehicle accident last night off of Game Bird Road in the desert area near Malibu. The driver and only occupant of the vehicle, Marianne Burns, is Vern Van Winkle's mother. Vern is the owner of KPVM-TV. According to Rhonda Van Winkle, she said it appears that Marianne went off of the road, hit a berm, which launched her van into the air, landing upright about 37 feet away. She was wearing her seatbelt. She had 2 dogs in the car with her. One of them sustained a small injury to their head. Marianne as well sustained injuries to her head. She received stitches after she was flown by Mercy Air to UMC Trauma Center in Las Vegas. Marianne was kept in the hospital overnight for observation and appears to have received minor injuries as a result of this accident. All right, we wish her the best. We'll return in just a moment.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. If you're anxious to get your tax refund, you can now file your taxes. Tax season officially starts today. Angela Miles has more.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, tax season officially starts today, so you can now file with the IRS. It's expected some Americans may be surprised by a smaller refund this year. The average tax refund last year was around $2,700. On Wednesday, President Trump plans to sign the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement at the White House. That new agreement replaces NAFTA. It binds the 3 trading countries together for at least 16 years. Among the rules, 40% of automotive parts made in the USA, Canada, and Mexico will be produced by auto workers earning at least $16 per hour. Boeing confirms there may be more cuts to the production of its 787 Dreamliner. According to CNBC, the jet maker is noticing a softening in demand for the Dreamliners.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Thanks, Angela. Well, Desert Haven Animal Society will continue to provide animal shelter services for Nye County for at least another year. The Nye County Board of Commissioners has voted to extend Desert Haven's contract until June of 2021. The original proposal called for a 3-year extension. Commissioner Chair John Koenig abstained from the discussion and vote due to his re-election bid.
As is general knowledge, I'll be running for re-election in this year's election. At least one of my opponents and his wife is deeply involved with the shelter. I will be recusing myself from this agenda item so as not to appear to garner votes by my deliberation or vote. So carry on.
Am I bound to do it for 3 years? Can I choose to do it 1, 2, 3?
In other words, he's wanting to know if we can amend the agreement before we consider it.
The question is, you have the document, if you can amend it on the record today.
Yes.
Absolutely. You can make whatever changes to the document once it's up for discussion in your motion to include any amendments to the document.
Okay, let's start here. I'm looking for a motion followed by discussion. Do I have a motion?
I would make a motion to, I'm going to preface this with the fact that we are working on some things for an animal shelter. So with that in mind, can we please amend this agreement to be a 1-year agreement in the hopes that we'll have an animal shelter at the end of that year? So my motion is to amend this to a 1-year agreement and do pass.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I would like to possibly hear from those who represent Desert Haven that are here today and ask them if we were to amend this particular contract. Not being a complete board, don't get me wrong, do you think your board would agree to such a thing?
Jane and I have discussed this between ourselves, and we would be in favor of this.
One follow-up question. Let's just say, in the spirit of government, nothing moves that fast. If after renewed, so they get 1 year plus 1 year, at that time it would go out to bid?
The motion included a 1-year term. If you look at the contract, the term is for a contract period of 1 year from the effective date with an option to renew. The motion was just for a 1-year term.
But to renew just the one option?
That's
so for 1 more year.
Change.
At the end of that, would they continue on a month-to-month basis until we either A, put it back out to bid or reaffirm?
We would have to talk about that.
It would be an agenda item at that time, and at that time we would decide how we wanted to move forward.
Just throwing everything out there.
Absolutely.
I want everybody to understand what's happening, especially the people before us.
The contract allows for 2 additional terms, so if we renewed it for 1 year, we would bring it back in a year to make a decision from there.
Okay.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries 4, 1 abstention.
In recent weeks, a new respiratory virus known as the 2019 Wuhan coronavirus was identified in China. According to the CDC, the virus has made its way to the U.S. as the first case was confirmed in Washington state last week. According to Dr. Stephen Gordon of the Cleveland Clinic, coronavirus is part of a large family of viruses that range in severity from the common cold to severe disease.
The coronavirus, for those that don't know, it's one of the causes of the common cold, but this novel coronavirus, meaning one that has not been seen before, was attributed to a lot of cases of upper respiratory tract infection. Some pneumonias were reported.
Coronavirus can be spread by both animals and people. It's in the same category of infections as severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS. Symptoms of coronavirus are what you would expect from a typical upper respiratory virus, including cough and fever. Dr. Gordon says the best way to protect against the virus or any upper respiratory virus is to practice good cold and flu season hygiene. He says washing hands thoroughly with soap and water or using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer is recommended. Also, be sure to properly cover your nose and mouth when coughing.
Cough into a tissue, if not, cough into your sleeve. Good hand hygiene in this regard. Obviously, in terms of if you're feeling not well, don't go to work in this regard, whether or not it's something that's extremely contagious or not.
According to the World Health Organization, the 2019 Wuhan coronavirus has claimed multiple lives and has sickened more than 400. U.S. scientists from the National Institutes of Health are already working on a vaccine for the virus.
We'll return right after this break.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Well, let's go to Darby with a very special dog in today's Save a Pet.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Kobe. Kobe is a 1-year-old American Staffordshire Terrier mix. He's black and white. He has some very beautiful and interesting markings on him with his white detailing. He is so friendly. He thinks everything is just playtime and fun. When they brought him out here, he actually grabbed hold of his leash and started trying to play tug of war with it. They gave him a ball, and now he is happily sitting behind me playing with his ball. He is so cute. I actually went and I was able to play with him for a little while. You definitely want to come and bring him out into the yard, spend about 15 minutes with him, let him warm up to you so he can go and run around and play with ball with you. He prefers to be the only dog in the home. So definitely come down, see him and all of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society. They're on Sierra Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse. You can give them a call at 775-751-7020. You can look them up always on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
Such a cute little dog. Well, tax season is here, and while the deadline to file your taxes is still nearly 3 months away, you may want to start preparing. Jason Duhon, who runs Liberty Tax Service here in Pahrump, has been preparing taxes for 25 years. He says the number of changes will affect the vast majority of taxpayers.
There's a ton of things that changed. The primary thing is pretty much 80% of the people who used to itemize no longer have enough deductions to itemize anymore. So the government's increased the standard deduction, which has decreased the population that gets to itemize. There's a lot of new tax law that's out, even some that was signed in December that even changed 2018 taxes.
And so, so what should you be prepared to have with you if you want to get your taxes done?
Any statements that have come to you, whether it's Social Security statements, W-2s, 1099s, business expenses if you have them, personal business income if you have that. There's a lot of different changes and deductions this year, especially if you're self-employed or have a hobby business.
And so anything change with dependents or health care?
The earned income credit has actually increased as far as income level goes. Healthcare Obviously, there's no more requirement to have health care, but there is some credits that come along with having some of the government-funded health programs.
All right, and so you aren't going to be penalized anymore if you don't have health care?
No, not anymore, since 2018.
Okay.
So.
And so what about if you have an adjustment on your income for health care? Are they still charging you for that? Because sometimes people earn a little bit more than they estimated?
It's only if you're in the government-funded system, then there is some credits and adjustments if you didn't make enough or you made more than you estimated, and then the credits either get applied or deducted based on how much you earned.
All right. Well, everybody knows Liberty Tax Service from, of course, Statue of Liberty. You have a person out there on the boulevard. Will they be there through April 15th?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so what's the best way to get in touch with you to get your taxes done?
Well, you can always just walk in. You can call and set an appointment. We're here at 3250 Highway 160, so we're in the Meadows Bank Plaza. And you can always call and set an appointment.
You're open regular business hours?
10 to 6, Monday through Saturday.
And then as far as taxes and what you specialize in, individual, business?
Well, individual we've always done. I personally specialize in business. I have a master's degree in business, and that's my focus is small business taxes and books and accounting.
Can you give the phone number for more information?
Sure. It's 775-727-9969.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's see what it looks like earlier today on that weather cam. Beautiful skies, but let's see what we have in store when we come back from this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 68 degrees, a low of 45, 76, a low of 49 in Death Valley, 67-37 in Amargosa, 62-34 in Beatty, 51-23 in Goldfield, 49-24 in Tonopah, 53, a low of 33 in Carson City, 55 for the high in both Fallon and Fernley, 30 degrees for the low in Fallon, and 32 for the low up in Fernley. Now today in Pahrump, we saw some sunny skies. Our high today was 66 degrees with winds coming out of the northwest at 16 miles per hour, 23% for our humidity, and our sunrise at 6:48 this morning. Now for tonight, we're going to see some clear skies. Our low is going to be 40 degrees. It is 61 degrees outside currently, with winds coming out of the east-northeast at 5 miles per hour, humidity at 23%, and our sunset at 5:04 p.m. Now looking ahead to our 7-day, I'm seeing a nice little pattern that I like. On Tuesday, we're going to be seeing some clouds. We're going to have a break on Wednesday and Thursday with some sunny skies. On Wednesday, we do have a high wind advisory. We have winds up to 23 miles per hour. On Friday, we're going to be seeing some more clouds rolling in. Another break of sun for Saturday and Sunday. And then some more clouds coming in Monday with some more high winds up to 15 miles per hour. Temperature-wise, from Tuesday through Friday, we're going to be in that 60-degree range, just between 61 and 69 degrees. We're going to jump up to those mid-70s on Saturday and Sunday at 74 and 75 degrees, and then back down to 62 for our high on Monday. For our overnights, we're pretty much just going to be hanging out in those 40 degrees, just between 40 and 47 degrees, the exception being Wednesday and Monday, where we're going to get down to 36 and 37 degrees. Now with that, we're going to throw it back to the desk with Deanna.
Thanks so much, Michael. And of course, we want to let everybody know if you want to get hooked up to free local TV, give us a call, 775-727-9400, and we will get an antenna out to you and hook you up. Just give us that phone call. That's going to wrap up this edition of News 25 from all of us here at KPVM-TV and Ace Country Radio. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.